You're listening to Classic Country Breakfast on Ace Country Radio. It's not every day you get to talk to a legend. I talked to one today, Billy Don Burns. Billy Don Burns is such a legend that when Bill Clinton was the governor in Arkansas, he declared March 27th, 1983, Billy Don Burns Day. Check out Billy's new single. It's called Neon Circus from his forthcoming album, I've Seen a Lot of Highway, which drops October 6th. Check out BillyDonBurns.net for all things Billy Don Burns.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Not bad for an old guy.
You have a new single.
I've got a new single with Shooter Jennings. I got a new album that'll be out in about 3 months. And Cody's singing on that and some other guys, but this single just me and Shooter.
It's called Neon Circus. What is the song about?
It's about what I've seen from the stage for the last 50 years in a honky-tonk.
Step right up. The greatest show in town.
Welcome to the Neon Circus. Step right up and see all the clowns. Just a few drinks buys a ticket to the greatest show in town. There's Hank's wife, she been out all night with that boot-hill buddy again. After she gets what she wants, she'll go back home to him. And the blonde that left with the drummer last night, she back, she's setting up close. The drummer don't know tonight she'll be the guitar player's show.
Welcome to the Neon Circus. Step right up and see all the clowns. Just a few drinks buys the tickets to the greatest show in town. The party over at the table, wearing out the bathroom door. Everybody knows what they've been doing when they're coming out wiping their nose.
There's Pullman Freddy, boot scooting Betty, got on the western wear, smoking across the hardwood floor like Ginger Rogers in a Fred Astaire. Welcome to the Neon Circus. Step right up and see all the clowns. Just a few drinks buys the ticket to the greatest show in town. That old nickel old Mac, he wanting a drink. He can't get off of the floor. He cussing and a screaming, I'll be alright. Bartender, give me one more.
Then over there is their lonely picture of a life with tears in her eyes.
You can buy her a drink, but you can't change the mess she made of her life. Welcome to the Neon Circus. Step right up and see all the clowns. Just a few drinks buys the ticket to the greatest show in town. Welcome to the Neon Circus.
Step right up.
See all the
The greatest show in town.
Welcome to the Neon Circus. Step right up and see all the clowns.
When did you start playing music?
When I was a kid, never really got serious about it till I was out of the Army in 1970. I started a band, and I've been playing ever since. It's all I've ever done.
How did you meet Merle Haggard?
I had a gig in Indio, California with a band, and it was my first real honky-tonk gig. It's 3 nights a week, and first I thought, man, I could do this forever. Well, after about 3 months, I was ready to move on. And I read where Merle had started a publishing company in Bakersfield called Shade Tree Music, but he couldn't write for it because he was under contract to write for Buck Owens, Blue Book Music Publishing at that time. I told the band, I said, hey, guys, you got to get a new front man. I'm going to Bakersfield. And they said, why are you going to Bakersfield? And I said, well, I'm hoping to meet Merle Haggard. And they all laughed. Said, you ain't going to meet Merle Haggard. And I said, well, boys, I may not meet Merle Haggard, but I'm damn sure going to Bakersfield.
I grew up listening to Hank Williams songs. No doubt he was the greatest of all. I gave up my young years to sit in the back room to sing his songs and stare at the wall. And then it happened one day, I started to play in the nightclub, still the people went home. Now 20 years later, 3 ex-wives too, Hank Williams, I blame that on you. I was out in California when I first heard Haggard singing The Bottle Let Me Down. And I'll never forget the impression he made on this boy from a small country town. I lost my wife in my car, trying to be a star. Caught a freight train out of town like Merle did. Hey Haggard, you bastard, Hank, I'm so plastered. I wish my heroes played football instead. Yeah, Haggard and Hank, this old show business stinks. I'm drunk on my ass and I'm wrecked in a ditch. And it's you guys I blame with your songs in my brain. Haggard and Hank are both the son of a bitch. Hey, Haggard and Hank, this old show business stinks. I'm drunk on my ass and I'm wrecked in a ditch. And it's you guys I blame with your songs in my brain. Haggard and Hank are both the son of a bitch. Haggard and Hank are both the son of a bitch.
Roy Nichols was who listened to the songs, which Roy was like meeting a big star because everybody knew back in the day when you heard Roy kick off a song, Merle was coming next, And anyway, he called back there, and Merle said, bring him on back. And they treated me like the prodigal son, man, and got me on a TV show. My first TV show I did, that Jimmy Thomason TV show in Bakersfield, and while Merle and Roy and them sat back and watched me at the office. So it was pretty cool. And they never forgot me either, And little did any of us know that some 20 years later, or 30 or whatever, 1989, that I'd produced an album on Johnny Paycheck and Merle Haggard,
Last night I threw a party to celebrate my life. And I had some good friends over, but it was only in my mind. We all dressed up in our stage clothes. We were high, we were free. Graham Parsons, Hank Williams, and me. Started out at the old Spence Manor on 16th Avenue. We were singing and playing our guitars loud. We were lonesome, we were blue. And then I woke up in a squad car, cops asking for my ID. Graham Parsons, Hank Williams, and me. checking me in that jailhouse. I was looking for my friends. Police said I was by myself in this sad shape I was in. He said I passed out on that city street for all the town to see. Graham Parsons, Hank Williams, and me. Started out at the old Spence Manor on 16th Avenue. We were singing and playing our guitars loud. We were lonesome, we were blue. Now I woke up in a squad car, cops asking for my ID. Graham Parsons, Hank Williams, and me. Graham Parsons, Hank Williams, and me.
Your first album was produced by Porter Wagner. How'd you get hooked up with him?
His engineer, I met him in a club that I was playing in Nashville, and Roy Shockley was his name. Great engineer and a great guy. And Roy liked me, and he told me, he said, man, come by Fireside, that was Porter's studio, and check with me, and if I'm not busy, I'll do some free guitar vocals for you in the studio. So I did that, and when I did it, Roy said, I'm going to go upstairs and get Porter, let him hear this. I like these songs, man, and stuff. And so Porter come down and heard them, and it was my first time on the Grand Ole Opry, too. Porter said, you want to do my 8:30 show Saturday night? And I said, yeah, man.
Wow.
He picked up the phone and called the manager of the Opry, which I think was Bud Wendell. He said, Billy Don Burns will be on my 8:30 Saturday night. And got to hang out with Porter for 6 months or so. He's one of the greatest cats I ever run with, man.
Rambling gypsy, keep on rambling. Wish I knew how to settle down. Man, I was born with highway feeling. I'm a rambling gypsy, rambling round. I wish I knew the right road to travel instead of always drifting around. But I was born low with highway fever. I'm a rambling gypsy, rambling around. I wish I could go home, see my mama. It would only bring mama down. See her baby still on a bottle. And a rambling gypsy, rambling around. Hey, rambling gypsy, keep on rambling. I wish I knew how to settle down. But I was born low with highway fever. I'm a rambling gypsy, rambling round. I think about all those pretty ladies that I have known from town to town. In my mind, Lord, they're filled with flowers. But it's rambling gypsy, rambling round. Hey, rambling gypsy, keep on rambling. I wish I knew how to settle down. Man, I was born with highway fever. I'm a rambling gypsy, rambling round. Hey, I'm a rambling gypsy, rambling round.
In Arkansas, there's a day called Billy Don Burns Day. How did
Yeah,
that
Bill.
come about?
I really don't know, to be honest with you. All I know is Bill Clinton was governor, and he's the one that proclamated that. I never really knew how that come about, so I don't know,
Do you have a favorite collaboration that you've done, or anyone that sticks out?
When I was recording my album, Heroes, Friends, and Other Troubled Souls, I asked Kim and Hank Cochran if they wanted to record a song with me about Patsy Cline, and they did. So I've been pretty lucky, in some ways, I mean, met most of my heroes, and a bunch of them got my songs.
Patsy, if you're watching from above, then you know how much that you're still loved. Ever since the day you left, many have tried, all have failed. No one has the soul you left, Patsy.
And it don't make no difference where I go. You're on every jukebox around the world, Stars may rise and stars may fall. Many are chosen, but few are called. And you're the brightest star of all, Patsy. Patsy, I'm still crazy over you. I know I've played our song 1,000 times or two. You're the one they imitate. There's some okay, but you're still great. We all know you left for heaven's sake. That's it.
Patsy, God gave you a voice of gold, and everybody loves you, young and old.
You're the present, you're the past. You're the first and you're the last.
They're just coach, maybe you're first class. Ain't you, Patsy? Patsy, I'm still crazy over you. I know I've played our songs 1,000 times or two. You're the one they imitate. They're okay, but you're still great. And we know you left, for heaven's sake, Patsy.
Were you shocked when Desperate Men knocked off Johnny Cash's Unchained from the top spot of the Billboard chart?
I'll tell you the story on that and how that Johnny Cash letter come about. It was the greatest chart I ever seen, man. Johnny Cash #1, Billy Don Burns #2, and the other 98 below us there. It don't get no better than seeing that. And I was on John Hartford's label, Small Dog Barking, distributed by Rounder Records, and the record company called me, and Johnny had been #1 for 16 weeks, and record company called me and said, we're knocking Cash out next week. And I said, I don't want to knock Cash out next week. And they said, well, we're going to. And I said, I'll stop the record. So I get on the phone calling disc jockeys, telling them get off my record. And Hank Cochran, who produced and paid for that album, called me and said, "Man, I will sue your ass if you call one more radio station." And I said, "Hank, to me, it's like blasphemy to knock Johnny Cash out of there." And Hank said, "You sick son of a bitch, call one more station and I will sue you." So, anyway, Johnny Cash heard about that and wrote me a nice little letter, biggest thing that ever happened to me, actually.
We rode into town on those ribbons of steel. After 10 days in the boxcar manual, too numb to feel. And the way folks look right through you make you wonder if you're real. We sold souls for a bed, a bath, and a meal. We were desperate, desperate for money. We were desperate for wheels. Desperate like wanted outlaws with the police on our heels. Like a hungry, wounded animal looking for a den. Rolling with the thunder, blowing with the wind. We were desperate men. We sit and reminisce about the things that we went through. Selling that old guitar was the hardest thing to do. For $7 silver, sold a trusted friend, but we were desperate men. Desperate for money, we were desperate for wheels. Desperate like wanted outlaws with the police on our heels. Like a hungry, wounded animal looking for a den. Rolling with the thunder, blowing with the wind. We were desperate men. We had nothing to lose. If we found $1, we bought a drink of booze. Yeah, well, that's the way that we lived our lives back then. We were desperate men. We were desperate men.